Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the Sampurna Grand Challenge 2026 Expert Speak webinar. I am Drishti Makijani and I will be your moderator for today's session. The Sampurna Grand Challenge is an innovation challenge launched in the partnership with Department of Horticulture, Karnataka, designed to identify, support, and scale solutions with the potential of preventing post-harvest loss across key commodities in the state of Karnataka. Today's webinar is a part of a series of webinars designed to connect innovators, startups, and ecosystem builders with practitioners who have spent their entire careers building on the frontiers of India's agri food systems. To begin the webinar, may I now please invite Ms. Debjani Samantare, Global Manager at Nutrition Connect, to deliver the welcome address and set the context for today's session. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Drishti. Welcome to everyone who has taken time out to join us today and to hear Mr. Vilas and all of us. All innovators, mentors, partners, big warm welcome. And it is my pleasure to start today's session, which is all about exchanging knowledge, experiences, and practical insights around key themes for shaping the future of food systems in India and beyond. Sampurna Grand Challenge has been envisioned as a platform to encourage bold, locally grounded, scalable innovations that can strengthen to help us be closer to healthier, safer, and more sustainable food systems. It actually comes from a legacy of many other successful innovation challenges that GAIN and Nutrition Connect and partners in countries such as yourself, we have completed in 10 other countries earlier, working across sectors with private and public partnerships. So we bring to you a cohort of innovators that is working together to solve real-world challenges. Sampurna, as many of you know, means whole, it means complete. And so the name really reflects the ambition also of this initiative, which is to bring together stakeholders across policy, across government, across market, private sector, innovators and producers, to bring everyone together to try and strengthen Karnataka's agriculture, horticulture value chains, all while advancing nutrition ambition, sustainability ambition, and inclusive growth. This platform of Sampurna is co-created by GAIN, the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, Nutrition Connect, TTC, ABWCI, also Fortuna PR, Active, and of course Horticulture. And most importantly, I think we have sincere gratitude to the government of Karnataka and the Department of Horticulture for their visionary leadership and continuous support to this initiative. Heartfelt thanks to Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, Chief Secretary to the Government of Karnataka, and Sir Girish Reddy, who has been constantly guiding and encouraging us in his capacity of Secretary, Department of Horticulture, Government of Karnataka. So without further ado, I would like to emphasize the interconnectedness of this platform, and I would like to welcome Mr. Vilas Shinde. We are honored to have you with us, who is the Chairman and MD of Sahyadri Farmers Producer Company Limited. He will be sharing his keen perspective on strengthening agricultural value chains, farmer collectivization, post-harvest management, and market-led food systems innovation. You will also hear from my colleagues, Mr. Ajay Pandey, Mr. Asim Juneja, Achela Yaresami. During the course of the next 1 hour, we will take you through a detailed introduction of the Sampurna Grand Challenge and its key challenge categories, followed by a fireside conversation with Mr. Vilas Shinde himself, along with our moderator for the day, Dr. Sadanand GK, Deputy Director at the Center of Excellence for Farmer Producer Organizations at Bengaluru, followed by an interactive Ask Me Anything session, which Mr. Vilas Shinde will be taking on from participants, asking questions relevant to the session, followed by reflections and key takeaways for innovators. We hope that today's session will be interactive. You will be asking us questions, engaging in discussions, and inspiring each other for stronger thinking. So thank you once again for joining in. And for next proceedings, I'll hand to Drishti.
Thank you so much, Deepjani. We now know what an exciting hour we have ahead of us. So without further ado, before we move into any other details, I would want to take a couple of minutes to spend talking about the problem that Sampurna Grand Challenge is currently trying to solve. And for that, can we please have the next slide? Can we please have the next slide? Um, I understand there is a technical glitch at our end, and the secretariat has gotten disconnected. But that's all right. The show must go on. I would, without the presentation, walk us through the kind of challenge that we have in hand. Karnataka is one of the leading horticulture states in our country across its diverse agroclimatic zones. It grows some of the most crucial crops in the state, which also are amongst the prized crops in India. The seven crops that particularly form the center or the heart of the story are onion, mango, banana, tomato, grapes, pomegranate, and pineapple, together contributing to about 88,000 crores in revenue, which is not a small number. Despite such agricultural and horticultural strength, the state is not able to reach its full potential because a significant share of what is grown gets lost between the farm and the consumer. And this problem is not just one that sits at one place. Can we have the next slide that helps us understand how this problem is occurs at every stage of the value chain, and these losses compound right from harvesting to processing, including cold storage bottlenecks, sorting and grading bottlenecks. And what this means is that when there is surplus produce, the market is not able to absorb it, and as a result, farmers are left with no other option but to sell these off at dirt cheap prices. Can we have the next slide, please? I mean, while we saw that no stage is safe and losses happen across the value chain, there are different reasons of as to why these losses happen, and there are some that we've explicitly called out as ones that we found in our gap assessment. Most of us are very well aware of these, and some of us are actually living the realities of these. There are cold chain gaps, there is fragmented logistics, there are weak sorting and grading, there's limited processing capacities, there are information and market gaps. And what that really means is that farmers don't have real time tracking of data. What that really does is that, when there are, and we also understand that these gaps are structural in nature and they're not fragmented and occur across the value chain. The consequences of these losses, can we have the next slide, please? The consequences of these losses go beyond the produce that gets spoiled. Every kilogram that is lost is a farmer's income that was not realized. Smallholder farmers who have very little financial buffer, they're pushed into distressed sales and this further deepens their debts. When fruits and vegetables get spoiled before reaching consumer, it is also nutrition denied to families who need it the most. When we talk about women farmers, the post-harvest loss disproportionately seems to affect them because as they face challenges with their incomes, they also struggle to manage budgets of their households. And at a market level, these losses during the surplus season trigger price crashes that hurt the producers, while losses during lean seasons drive consumer prices higher. This is a problem that Sampurna Grand Challenge is trying to solve. And to get a deeper understanding of it across the seven priority commodities, the team at Think Through Consulting conducted a detailed gap assessment, and for us to help us understand what the findings of those gap assessment were and how they inform the Sampurna Grand Challenge and take us through a more detailed understanding of the challenge, may I now please invite Ms. Achula Yasmin from the Think Through Consulting team to take it over. Over to you, Achula.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಗರಿಮಾ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ತುಂಬಾ FQs ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ 7 ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟಿ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಹಣ್ಣು ಮತ್ತೆ ತರಕಾರಿ 7 ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಎವ್ರಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಚೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನಕ್ಕೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫೀಷಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಥ್ರೂ ಹಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಈಗ ದುಡ್ಡಿನ ವಿಷಯ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಹಾಟ್ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಕೆನ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾಸಸ್. ಗರಿಮಾ, ಕೆನ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ 7 ಈ ತರಕಾರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ಏನಿದೆ, ಈರುಳ್ಳಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ಮಾವಾಯ್ತು, ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣು, ಟೊಮೆಟೊ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ನಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಯಾವ್ದೊಳಗೆ ಕಾರಣಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಾರಣಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ರಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಯನ್ಗೆ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗು, ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಣಗಾರಿಕೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಯನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಗ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಯನ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಉಪಕರಣಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಯನ್ಗೆ ಗ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಾರಣಗಳು ಅನ್ಯನ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಈಗ ಮಾವಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಈ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಾರಣ ಮಾವಿಗೆ. ಅದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫಂಗಲ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಸಾರಿಗೆ ವಿಳಂಬದಿಂದ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಮಾವಿಗೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅದು ಬೇಗ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ ಆ ಡಿಲೆಯಿಂದ ತುಂಬಾ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಗ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 38% ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅದು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣು. ಟೊಮೆಟೊದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರೇ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ ಟೊಮೆಟೊಗೆ, ಇದು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಇವಾಗ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜಿರೇಟೆಡ್ ವ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಿಗ್ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾರಣಗಳು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಚೈನ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಯೂ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಇದು ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಪೊಮೊಗ್ರಾನೆಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ದಾಳಿಂಬೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕು, ಏನ್ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅದು ದಾಳಿಂಬೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತುಂಬಾ ನಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ಈಗ ಮುಂಚೆನೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ರಿಯಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ಅದು ಆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದಾಳಿಂಬೆಗೆ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಆ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದರಿಂದನೂ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ನಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಅನಾನಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದು ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಮೇಜರ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಗರಿಮಾ, ಕೆನ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಸೊ ನಾವ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ 7 ಇದು ಹಣ್ಣು ತರಕಾರಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಏನೇನ್ದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಹುಡುಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಈ 7 ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರೀಸ್ ನ ನಾವು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ಗೆ. ಏನೇನ್ ಈ 7 ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಚೈನ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊಯ್ಲೋತ್ತರ ಮೌಲ್ಯ ಸರಪಳಿ ಪರಿಹಾರಗಳು. ಈಗ ಈಗ ಆನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಮೀನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ, ವಿಂಗಡಣೆ ಆಯ್ತು, ದರ್ಜೆ ನಿಗದಿ, ಯಾಂತ್ರೀಕರಣ, ಈ ತರ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋರು, ಈ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಅಂತ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತವ್ರು ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವುದು ಬೆಳೆದು ಏನೋ ಶೆಲ್ಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ತರ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಸ್ಟೈನಬಲ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ನೋವೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಸ್ಥಿರ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ನಾವೀನ್ಯತೆಗಳು. ಈಗ ಪರಿಸರ ಸ್ನೇಹಿ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಯೋಡಿಗ್ರೇಡಬಲ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಮರುಬಳಕೆ ಕ್ರೇಟ್ಗಳು, ರೀಯೂಸಬಲ್ ಕ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ತಾಜಾತನ ಸೂಚಕೆಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಇದು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಫ್ರೆಶ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟರ್ಸ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ನಿಂದ ತರಕಾರಿ ಹಣ್ಣು ಹಾಳಾಗದಂತೆ ಕಾಪಾಡುವಂತ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋರು ಅಂತರು ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಗ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಲಾಜಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಕ್ಷ ಸಾರಿಗೆ ಸುಧಾರಣೆ ಪರಿಹಾರಗಳು. ಈಗ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಚೈನ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ತಣ್ಣನೆಯ ಸಾಗಣೆ ಆಯ್ತು, ಕೊನೆಯ ಹಂತದ ಸಾರಿಗೆ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೋಡ್ ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ, ಲೋಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಮೀನಿಂದ ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಬೇಗ ತಲುಪಲು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುವ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಉಪಾಯಗಳಿದ್ದಂತ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು, ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋಂಥ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಏನಿತ್ತು ನಾವು ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಲೆಡ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಮುದಾಯ ನೇತೃತ್ವದ ಕ್ರೋಢೀಕರಣ ಮತ್ತು ಉದ್ಯಮಶೀಲತೆಯ ನಾವೀನ್ಯತೆಗಳು. ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಈ FPO ಮಾಡೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಈಗ ರೈತರು ಗುಂಪುಗಳು, ಮಾದರಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಂಗ್ರಹ ಕೇಂದ್ರಗಳು, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಚಾಂಪಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮುಂದಾಳು ರೈತರು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಷ್ಟ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಖರ್ಚೆಲ್ಲ ಉಳಿಸೋಕೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಲೆಡ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತವ್ರು ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಮುಂದಿನ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಇನೋವೇಟಿವ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ FPOಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಕೃಷಿ ಉದ್ಯಮಗಳಿಗೆ ನವೀನ ಹಣಕಾಸು ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಪರಿಹಾರಗಳು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಲೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ರೈತರ ಗುಂಪಿಗೆ ಸಾಲ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಸಾಲ ಅಥವಾ ವಿಮೆ ಆಧಾರಿತ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಈ ತರ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು. ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್, ಹಣದ ಕೊರತೆಯನ್ನು ನಿಗಸಲು ಮತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಈ ತರ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫುಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಹಾರ ನಷ್ಟವನ್ನು ಕಡಿತಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಪದ್ಧತಿಗಳು. ಇವಾಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂಚೆ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ರಿಯಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂಚಿತ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಪ್ರಿಡಿಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಈ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕ್ರಾಪಿಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ತರ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಹುಡುಕಿರೋರು, ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರೋರು ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ, ಅಂತ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋರು ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೃತ್ತಾಕಾರದ ಅಧಿಕೃತೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಷ್ಟದಿಂದ ಮೌಲ್ಯವರ್ಧನೆ ಪರಿಹಾರಗಳು. ಈಗ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಹಣ್ಣು ತರಕಾರಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಣಗಿಸುವಿಕೆ, ಡಿಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಯೂರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬಯೋಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಕಂಪೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಈ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಓವರ್ ಬೈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಉಪ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ ತೆಗೆಯುವಿಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಂಥದ್ದು, ರೀಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ತೋಟಗಾರಿಕೆ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮರುಬಳಿಸಿ ಹಣ ಮತ್ತು ಪರಿಸರ ಉಳಿಸುವಂತ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋರು, ಈ ತರ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋರು ಈ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಗರಿಮಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ನಾವೀಗ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ನಾವು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 20ಕ್ಕೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. 15 ಜೂನ್ 2026 ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಟು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದ್ ವಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 15 ಜೂನ್ ಇಂದ 22 ಜೂನ್ ವರೆಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೀ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವ್ ಏನೇನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಆ ವಿಷಯಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಯಾ, ನಾವ್ ಏನೇನ್ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಇತ್ತು ಎಲಿಜಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಪ್ರೀ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾನೆಲ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು 23 ಜೂನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ 10 ಜುಲೈ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇದು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಏನೋ ತೊಗೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಕೋರಿಂಗ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅವರು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು 11 ಜುಲೈ ಮತ್ತೆ 25 ಜುಲೈ ಮಧ್ಯ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಈ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 7 ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ 7 ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹಣ್ಣು ತರಕಾರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಆಗಂತ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ 26 ಜುಲೈ ಮತ್ತೆ 12 ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆಂಟರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಈ ತರ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ ಪರಿಹಾರಗಳು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಮೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಅವರು ಆ ಡೊಮೇನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡೊಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೆಂಟರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಟ್ಟು 7 ವಿನ್ನರ್ಸ್ ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಫೈನಲ್ ಕನ್ವೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 12 to 15 ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಅದು ಫೈನಲ್ ಕನ್ವೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ 7 ವಿನ್ನರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟು ಸೇರಿ 50 ಲಕ್ಷಷ್ಟು ಅವಾರ್ಡ್, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈಗ ಮೆಂಟರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಒಂದ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ಮೆಂಟರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸಸ್ ಈಗ ರೆಡಿ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸಸ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ತರ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಇಂದ. ಹೈ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಈಗ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸೆರೆಮನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಫೆಲಿಸಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಸೆರೆಮನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್, ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೂಲಕನೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಈ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಅಪ್ಸು, ಈ ಅಗ್ರಿಟೆಕ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸು, ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇನೋವೇಟರ್ಸ್, FPOs, agri-enterprises, ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ SHGs ಕೂಡ, ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸಸ್, ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಸ್ಕೇಲಬಲ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್.
Thank you so much, Achala, for that presentation. While this presentation was in Kannada, we also have an English version of this available on YouTube. I have shared the link of the same in the chat. Again, this is a series of webinars, and we continue to have these webinars with the next one planned on the 26th. Thank you so much. We now move to the heart of today's session. Over the next 20 minutes, we have the privilege of hearing from Mr. Vilas Shinde, Chairman and Managing Director of Sahyadri Farmers Producers Company Limited, a leading farmer-owned agri-enterprise in India. Built on the principles of farmer collectivization, value addition, post-harvest management, and global market integration, Sahyadri works with over 22,500 shareholder farmers and exports horticulture produce to over 40 countries. Drawing from his experience and his journey of overcoming early setbacks in the agriculture and exports space, Mr. Shinde has helped build a scalable farmer-led enterprise model. He brings valuable insights on strengthening agriculture value chains, improving market access, and building globally competitive and sustainable farmer ecosystems. And to lead the conversation with him, may I please invite Dr. Sadanand GK, Deputy Director at the Center of Excellence for Farmer Producer Organizations, Bangalore. Dr. Sadanand brings over 12 years of experience in post-harvest technology and horticulture and value chain development, with a PhD from IARI and deep expertise in value addition, product development, and FPO strengthening. Sir currently works on empowering farmer producer organization through interventions in governance, operational efficiency, financial management, and market linkages. Over to you, sir. Dr. Sadanand and Mr. Vilas.
Yes, so indeed, I thank our Honorable Chief Secretary, Madam, for thinking about the challenge and also the partners, the entire Sampurna team, for making it a reality. So today we have amongst us a symbol of FPO movement, that is Sahyadri FPCL Nasik. And an FPO is always remembered and cherished by his leader. And the success depends upon and it is greatly contributed to the leader. And we have a formidable leader who has showed the entire, not only the India as well as the world, that what a farmer true collective can be and what its power can. Namaste, Vilas ji.
Namaste.
Yes. So मैं what I will do is that because in the chat as आप जानते होंगे कि हमारा जो कुछ FPOs join हुए हैं कर्नाटक से, so I will be asking the questions in English. You can give in English and Hindi, and gist I will be translating in Kannada a little bit. So
Yes.
the first question is means because see you come from a farming community, farming a family which is known very close to farming, and farming is not that much of a rosy picture, so it has its own problem. You had seen that problems very closely. Despite of that, you came back again. You wanted to build an institution so to have an which can be having some systematic approach as well as a farmer-led, farmer-owned approach. So what is the major problem or it's a core problem which made you to think this perspective? ಸೊ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಕೃಷಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ. ಅದು ಹೊರತಾಗಿ ಕೂಡ ನೀವೊಂದು ದಿಟ್ಟ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಹುಟ್ಟಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನೀವೊಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪರವಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಸಾಂಸ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ರೈತರ ಒಡೆತನದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆನ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಬಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪೂರಕವಾಯಿತು? ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Sadanandji, and all the Sampurna Grand Challenge team, TTC team, for inviting me on this platform. I think in your question itself, there is an answer. I came from the farmer family, so I think it's my duty to work for my own family's problem. So that actually pushed me to remain on the field in spite of all the challenges I saw on the my own farm while doing the farming. Actually, I did agriculture engineering and post-graduation in same faculty from MPK Viravuri during 91 to 98. So during that period itself, my thought was very clear that I have to go back to my farm and also I have to work for my family and also for the rural community. I was inspired by Anna Hazare during that period. His native place, Ralagan Siddhi, is actually almost 30 kilometers from our university. So I used to visit Ralagan Siddhi regularly during that days. So the rural development, specifically the watershed development for the interior village development. So that was my actually passion becomes because of his inspiration. And then I started my career as a full-time farmer and also as a social activist in rural development. So during that period, actually, my understanding was that if as a farmer, I could succeed on my farm, then I can actually then guide to other farmers in my village and also in other village development happening in the Maharashtra. But then I faced a lot of challenges as a farmer in that initial period, and actually that gave me a lot of lessons. That just as a having a understanding about your overall problem and also having honest thought So that will not actually suffice your solution. You have to think more deeply. You have to go in more deep. Why the problems are there? If as a farmer I am facing the losses, so first I need to understand that the losses are happening because of multiple reasons. And actually I went through multiple losses situation, and that gave clear understanding that if I am solving one problem, that will not be a ultimate solution. I have to find solutions to all the multiple problems. As a farmer, and particularly a horticulture farmer, if you see, the problems are on the production side, and some problems are on the post service side, also on the market side, and all these problems are interconnected. Like if I'm expecting better price for my produce, then my quality should be better compared to my competitor. Quality means it's not just a physical characters. It should be with the customer's expectation, that safety, healthiness, and along with that affordability. So all such problems are interlinked, and then I have to find solutions to all such problems. And this is not possible with a small scale 1 hectare, 2 hectare land parcel. It should have a bigger scale. As an individual farmer, we cannot increase our scale. So obviously, collective is a must. Without collective, you could not create a scale, and without scale, then you cannot find solutions to your multiple problems. So complete ecosystem is must. For that, valuation approach is must, and valuation approach is possible only with the collective approach. So instead of working as a alone and as an individual farmer, how we can create a strength by making a collective, and through that then we can find our solutions. So that becomes a clear direction for me, and then I decided that I have to work on this direction. I cannot run away from the problems. I have to stay on the farm, on the actually on the ground, and then that then becomes my further journey.
ಎಸ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಸೊ ವಿಲಾಸ್ ಶಿಂದೆ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಮೂಲತಃ ಕೃಷಿಕರಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಅವರು ಕೃಷಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಕೃಷಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಕೂಡ ಹೌದು. MPKV ರಾವ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಕೃಷಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪದವಿ ತಗೊಂಡು, ತದನಂತರ ರಾಲೇಗಾಂವ್ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೂ ನುರಿತ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಮನಗಂಡ್ರು. ರಾಲೇಗಾಂವ್ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅವರು ಅಣ್ಣಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಅವರಿಂದ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಒಂದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ತಿಳಿದಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳೇನಿದಾವೆ ಅದು ಬೇರಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇದ್ರ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕೊಡಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಸಿದ್ದು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು, ಸೊ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಬೆಳೆಯೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಕೊಯ್ಲು ತರ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್, ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸರ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಚಿಂತನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಫೋರ್ಡಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಚೀಪಾಗಿ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ 1-2 ಎಕರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಗ್ಗೂಡಿಸಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಹಲವು ರೈತರು ಜೊತೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇದು ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಪರಿಸರ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಸರಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಚೈನ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಂದು ನಿದರ್ಶನ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್, ಈ ಒಂದು ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ವಿಲಾಸ್ ಜಿ, तो आपने बताया कि you've told me that all about the problems and what inspired. The next is that because Sahyadri, what comes to our mind is it is an mammoth of a scale, very good institution, very a scalable institution. To make it so, you require technology, institutional design, farmer training, market access, and compliance, all the things simultaneously. So you might have decided what should be in-house and what should be the external, because you need multiple hundreds and thousands of people for this. And you have also decided about what can be outsourced and partner for what, for which there should be an formidable partners. So what governance and policy making practices matter more than the technology? So ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನವಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಾಂಸ್ಥಿಕ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸ, ತರಬೇತಿ, ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆ ಪ್ರವೇಶ, ಅನುಸರಣೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹಲವು ಒಂದು ಪಾಲುದಾರಿಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕುರಿತು ನೀವು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಹೊರತಾಗಿ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮತ್ತು ಏನು ನಿರ್ಧಾರಗಳನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಯು ಟು have these parameters in-house, the external outsourcing partners, decision making and governance, prominence to that rather than means or technology, please sir.
So basically, as a collective, we can create a complete valuation that becomes our direction. And when we started in 2004, it was just a small four farmer together. We started the journey. So it was just the passion that actually pushed us to work on the valuation approach. But then on the overall strength side, definitely there were a lot of limitations. Capital was not available with us. Then also right infrastructure, right team, technology, market. So all the problems were there. But as a individual, my thought was that we have to focus the biggest problems in first phase, and if I could solve the topmost problem, then all the small problems that can be easily then we can solve, and by either with collaboration or with integration with different organizations. So as a small group, we try to create a market side solution first. In 2004, actually, in spite of all our limitations, we decided that we'll focus the premium market. And the premium market, obviously, the Europe market, where we can get a better price compared to India or any other market like Gulf or Far East market. So that market we focus in the first phase itself instead of focusing the domestic market. It was actually a challenge for us, all of us. But then, and we obviously faced a lot of problems. We made losses in first, second year. But then we continue our journey on the same path. We try to learn all that market's requirements. Accordingly, we improve ourselves. And then 2006 onwards, we actually succeeded to stabilize ourselves in that Europe markets supermarket overall ecosystem. And 2006 onwards, then step by step, our small group started becoming bigger from 4 farmers, 10 farmers to then 25. Then step by step, it becomes almost 110 farmers group till 2010. So that was continue on one side, but parallelly then we also focused on improving our post-service infrastructure. Initial our export was from my small pack house at my farm. It was just actually conversion of the dairy shed into pack house. So it was like a Jugaad type system. But then step by step, we improved that pack house infrastructure every year. New some technology we try to adopt it in that infrastructure, so that help us to then improve our performance. Like that, that journey continue, doing the experiments, improving that ourselves at post service level, also at production level. And during that phase, then different experts, different domain people, then we try to connect with ourselves, like from some refrigeration side, some agronomy side, some logistics side. So the network we try to create around ourselves for the different solutions. 2010, when Sahyadri journey officially started, from that day, then our vision becomes very clear that we have to become a globally recognized organization. So for that, we have to create a global standard throughout our all the value chain different steps, whether it is on the farm level, productivity, quality improvement, or then at post service level, the best product handling facilities. So, and also the food safety related standard, traceability systems. So obviously for that, we need different type of expertise on the technology side. We need expertise on the some post-service infrastructure creation side, agronomy side, financial management side, risk management side. So I try to build a team with all these different domain expertise. within Sahyadri itself, all the people who came around me, so all are from the different field, like Mangesh Bhaskar, who is our director from the beginning. He's an expert on the horticulture production side. Another director, Azhar Tambuwala, he's an expert on the international marketing side. My another colleague, Rupesh Kiste, he's an expert on the post-service infrastructure side. So I try to build that team with the different domain expertise. Within team, we try to create a capacity, and along with that, then we also focus on making the different collaborations on particularly on technology side. We started working with the TCS Foundations, their startup incubation center in Nasik, and through that, then different startups came forward to work on our all the problems which we gave them for our specific crops for grapes, tomatoes, and also other crops, and also with some specific problems, supply chain problem, farm level logistic issues, agronomy related issues. So all the network we try to create around us with our own building our own team, and also the collaboration with different external partner startups. So then, but the approach we kept clearly that at every level we have to think with the global mindset. We have to compete in the global environment. So obviously, we should think with that logic that though we are a small farmer, we have APO structure, but still we have to create a capability for global competition. So that actually help us to improve continuously at every level.
ಎಸ್ ಸೊ ವಿಲಾಸ್ ಶಿಂದೆ ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವರು ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ 2004 ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಗುಂಪಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಪ್ರೀಮಿಯಂ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ಸೊ ಯುರೋಪ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಇದು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಲಾಸ್ ಆದ್ರು 2006 ಅವ್ರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಯಾವ್ದೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು FPO ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಿಂದೆ ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವ್ರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಅವ್ರದೇ ಆದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಟ್ಟು ತದನಂತರ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿನ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ 2010 ಅವ್ರೇನು ಸಹ್ಯಾದ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಅಡಿಪಾಯ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಚಿಂತನೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅವರು ವಿಶ್ವ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆನ ನಾವು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆನ ಆ ವಿಶ್ವಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಆಧಾರ ಸ್ತಂಭಗಳಾದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಲಾಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದು ತಂಬುವಾಲ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ರೂಪೇಶ್ ಅವರಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವ್ರವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆದ ಒಂದು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಹತ್ತರವಾದ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ಕಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಪಡಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ FPO ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ತನ್ನ ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಗತಿಕ, ಅವ್ರು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಮ್ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಜಾಗತಿಕ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಮಟ್ಟದ ಒಂದು ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಊಟ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. विलास जी, या आपने बताया कि आपका जो विजन है ट्रूली मीन्स पार्शियली यू हैव अचीव्ड इट सीम्स, बिकॉज मैं आपका जर्नी जानता हूँ और व्हाट यू वांट टू अचीव. It is again to be captured the whole world. So we hope that it will happen very soon. So you see that because the Sahyadri is more very much known for its integrated value chain approach, especially the post harvest and byproduct utilization. So having said, so the crops are seasonal. When the crops are seasonal, when we install the processing facilities, so they cannot be utilized year the round. So according to your experience, what should actually the approach of an FPO to make the processing not only on the processing project not only on the paper but workable? So and throughout the year how they can work and their utilization of capacity. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಸಹ್ಯಾದ್ರಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಯ್ಲು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶ್ವಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಈ ನಾವು ಕೊಯ್ಲು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಸ್ಕರಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಹವಾಮಾನ ಆಧಾರಿತ ಒಂದು ಋತುಮಾನದವರೆಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಋತುಮಾನದಲ್ಲದೆ ವರ್ಷ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ? ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಅಸ್ to effective utilization of the processing capacity and the seasons, please sir.
So first of all, I think processing specifically in horticulture that we are now discussing, because crop wise there will be different approaches. In processing, horticulture crops processing is the most challenging area, because these crops are seasonal and also perishable. So as per that market situation, prices fluctuate. So that is a one problem, and quality also is having with different grades, because all are natural production. So obviously A, B, C, or D, all grades will come from the farm, and some grades you can selling market, but some grades you cannot selling market. So that quantity goes in waste. So obviously we have to tackle both situation, quality related situation, and also the seasonal nature. Sometimes if there is a glut situation, so all the product even A grade also actually prices gets crashed. So different situations we have to handle in horticulture crops. So these crops are the most challenging crops for any either organization like APO or even any private government organizations. So obviously we need to create a proper strategy around horticulture crops overall post-harvest management. In our country, the obviously the main focus should be to sell the produce in fresh form, as our market size is big, and people end consumer always like to consume fresh product instead of process. So that will be always the first choice. So obviously FPC should have that focus, that how can they sell their produce in fresh market with shortest supply chain, with most possible efficient way. But along with that, they need to have processing backup, because 20% product quantity will be always at processing grade level, and that you have to anyway handle during the short period, or even in the glut situation. Along with that, 20% remaining quantity will also come to processing. So processing backup will help to fresh. That need to be keeping in mind. Processing cannot be a independent activity. It will be a part of the overall post-service strategy. Fresh and processing should go always together. It should not be go independently. This is a one important point. And then at the processing infrastructure level, we need to think that for utilizing the infrastructure throughout the year, we need to bring two or three crops together with a different season, and that can help to utilize the infrastructure in a better way. At FPC level, normally approach is to create a cross-specific cluster-based FPC, and that FPC will focus that particular crop. So normally that strategy we actually push at every level. But I think if you think from the farmer angle, one crop, the monocropping is definitely a risky affair, and for APC also it's a challenging to depend on only one crop. So if in one cluster, if the farmer are having one main crop, but along with that, if they are having two or three supporting crops with a different season, so that will help to reduce the farmer level risk. Also, FPC level, they can utilize the infrastructure in better way if two or three crops with different seasons are there. So this is a, I think, ideal situation for any EPC infrastructure. If one EPC with just 1,000 acre, if they are creating an infrastructure for the fresh handling, that will not be a big investment. But if they are thinking to create infrastructure for processing, so I think 1,000 acre based, I think that 20% just product is coming to processing. So that quantity is not sufficient to create a size globally competitive processing infrastructure. So as a Sahyadri, we actually understood this problem that just as a 700 farmers APC, if you are investing in processing, that will not be commercially and technically viable. So we need to bring more farmer producer company together with more area and then with different crops. So that can create a scale, and also then with different crops with different season, then we can have better utilization of the infrastructure. So instead of having the processing infrastructure at individual FPC level, if it will be at FPC federation level, so that can be a better strategy. And uh, farm level is with one main crop, two or three supporting crops. FPC level again main crop and two supporting crops, and then federation level infrastructure for processing, FPC level infrastructure for fresh handling, and everything is controlled by the farmer. So with this approach, we can then handle the different situation, whether it is a glut situation, whether it is a shortage situation, whether it is a inequality related problem. So multiple situations we can handle with this three-tier ecosystem, and everywhere the farmer should be shareholder in the FPC, FPC should be shareholder in the federation. So with this, we one side we are controlling the complete ecosystem. As a farmer, we are taking the decision as per different situation, but all the decisions will be in the interest of the farmer. So I think this strategy will definitely works for the horticulture crops at Sahyadri. We are experiencing this since last few years.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಶಿಂದೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಂಗೆ ತೋಟಗಾರಿಕೆ ಬೆಳೆಗಳೇನಿದಾವೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಋತುಮಾನದ ಆಧಾರಿತ ಹಾಗೂ ಬಹಳ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಬಹಳ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ, ಕೊಯ್ಲು ನಷ್ಟ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬಹಳ ಮಿಗಿಲಾಗಿದೆಯು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದರ ದರ ಬಹಳ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆ ದರ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ದರ ನಿಗದಿ ಆಗೋದು ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ. ಆ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಥವಾ ನಾನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಚೈನ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆನ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ನ ನಾವು ಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಗೂ ಶಿಂದೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನಾವು ವರ್ಷ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನಾವು ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗದೆ ಎರಡು ಮೂರು ಒಂದು ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಧಾರಿತವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿನ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತದನಂತರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, FPC ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅತಿ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಾನದಂಡಗಳನ್ನು ಆಧರಿಸಿ ನಾವು ಕೊಯ್ಲೋತ್ತರ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನ ಸರಿದೂಗಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಶಿಂದೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. Shindeji, the last penultimate question what I want to ask is, because the Sampurna Grand Challenge is all about to boost the FPOs to come into processing, value addition, diversification, rather than only a seasonal aggregators. So because it will not serve the purpose. So in this regard, what is your opinion to create a value chain approach year-round value addition for and making the FPOs value addition ups, please, sir?
I already answered this point that value addition, complete post-harvest strategy, not just
Yes.
fresh product selling, but complete solution around the farm produce. So that need to be created, and complete value chain approach is must for that. See, in overall this ecosystem, the main question is that is not just a food loss. The main question is the farmer income. The farmer income loss. That's I think is the main question. If you um, focus around this question and accordingly, then if you are creating a strategy, I think then it will create a sustainable impact. If from the farmer income loss side, if you see the income is actually going away from the farmer because of the multiple reason. It's not a one reason. Post service loss is a one reason. Market related market volatility is a one reason. Then quality and productivity deterioration at farm level, that is another reason. And then production cost going up, that is another reason. So all such reasons we need to solve. It's not just a one reason. So obviously this integrated approach is must at post harvest level. If all the produce which is coming from the farm, if it is handled in efficient manner, then only we can see the sustainable income for the farmer. If you just compare it with milk, in milk it's already happening. In milk, if you see the milk is produced at small farmers level, and all that milk, whatever the milk is produced, it is all milk is coming to at one point, at a collection point, at village milk collection society, and then all that further it is going to the union at district level, and at union level all the infrastructure is there for the fresh milk packing to milk processing. So that union level, then it is decided how much milk will go in the market based on the market demand, and if there is a surplus, that surplus is converted into semi-processed product like butter and powder, and then further it is converted into value-added products. So because of all this integrated infrastructure at union level, the milk prices remains stable, and though it is a perishable commodity, but still comparatively milk prices remains between a certain range. So I think in horticulture crops or in any other crops, we need the same approach, how to give a solution at one point for the member farmers. So I think this strategy is a must. There is no any other alternative.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಶಿಂದೇಜಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಂಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅವನ ಒಂದು ರೈತನ ಒಂದು ಆದಾಯ ಅದೇ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಏನು ಹಾಲಿನ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಚೈನ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಫ್ರೆಶ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಶಿಂದೇಜಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಎಸ್ ದೃಷ್ಟಿ, thank you, Shindeji, for your kind opinion and your facets about how Sahyadri is doing, and your message to the other FPCs as well as. So it's always pleasure to interact with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Before we close this session, I would really request first Dr. Sadanand to please deliver his closing thoughts.
Yes. So, shall I talk in Kannada?
Sir,
Yeah,
anything's
English.
fine. Anything's
Yeah.
fine.
So, just I will talk in English and just followed by in a few words in Kannada. So, always the FPOs, because we tell that they should be having an integrated value chain approach, and we seek FPOs to have professionalism. So, always when we interact with Sahyadri and with Sindeji and his team, we always very much proud that the farmer institutions are so professional. So, that professional approach is required from FPOs, because the government has given the tool which has to be utilized more effectively. And always the government and the CSOs and the institutions, because the grand challenge, Sampurna Grand Challenge, is all about the partnerships. So the stakeholders have come together to solve a problem of food loss and formidable, the very good for the food ecosystem. So I request FPOs, all the stakeholders, to have a solution approach, to have a very good problem statement, and to solve the problems of the farmers. ಸೊ ನಾವು ರೈತ ಉತ್ಪಾದಕ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಹಾಗೂ ಒಂದು ಔಟ್ಕಮ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಏನು ಸಾಧಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದೀವಿ, ಸಹ್ಯಾದ್ರಿ ಏನು ವಿಲಾಸ್ ಶಿಂದೇಜಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಜಾಗತಿಕ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ದು ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನೀವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಒಂದು ಅಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಅಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ, ನೀವು ಬಹುಮಾನದ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಡಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೂ ಒಂದು ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಮೇಕರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ದೆನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಗ್ಬಹುದು, ಒಂದು ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೀವು ಸದುಪಯೋಗ ಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹಾಗೂ I thank the Sampurna team as well as Vilas Shinde ji for sparing the time and making a case to involve FPOs in this grand challenge. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Sadanand. Vilasji, before you leave, could you please share your closing thoughts with us?
I think Sampurna Grand Challenge is about food loss, but as I said, we have to think from the farmer income loss side, because that is a bigger challenge. And if we'll tackle this problem, so it means we are tackling all these challenges, including the food loss. So the value chain approach is a must for every our crops, because loss is happening at multiple level because of the multiple reasons. And if that value chain is controlled by the farmer, then obviously whatever the value is created at every level, that will remain with the farmer. And for that, collective is must. As an individual farmer, we could not control the complete value chain, but with collective approach, definitely it's possible. As a 500 farmer together, we can have 1000 acre scale, and that scale is then definitely competitive at global level. We can fight with US farmers to or any Australian or any developed country farmer. And with the collective approach and with the professional approach, I think we can definitely win competition, whether in domestic market or in global market. As an Indian farmer, we are blessed with nature. We are blessed with our internal market size. So we have some strength, but then some weaknesses we have because of our small scale, because of the fragmented value chain. That we have to overcome with the collective approach and with the value chain approach. And definitely in every crop, whether it is a horticulture or whether it is oil seed or any pulses or medicinal crops, you name any crop, I think model is almost similar. If it can work in milk, it can work in horticulture, it can work in any other commodity. Just the passion, professional approach, honest approach is required. And I think from the farmer community, how we can see such entrepreneurship like IT industry. I think around that agriculture sector's future, definitely we can see in same way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a candid and a grounded conversation. We all walk much clearer with an understanding of what it takes to build at scale in the Indian context. Thank you so much, sir. We now
Thank
move.
you. Thank you,
Thank
all
you,
of
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We now move to the last bit of our session, which is the FAQ section. This section particularly deals with any questions around the Sampurna Grand Challenge. This is your opportunity to ask questions around eligibility. If you're looking to apply, this is your time to take the next step and understand the challenge from the architects of the challenge themselves. For this session, may I please invite Mr. Asim Janeja, Mr. Ajay Pandey, Ms. Achala to please join us in answering any FAQs that our participants might have. You
Yeah,
can please drop your
thank you.
questions.
Thank you, Srishti. And I just wanted to thank Vilasji and Dr. Sadanand for sharing their thoughts. Uh, it was, I mean, Vilasji, always an honor listening to you.
I think I'll just take 2 minutes to add everybody to the spotlight, and we can then start with the section. Just a second. I don't see Asim on the call. Asim, are you on the call?
Yeah, he's there on the call.
I'm here. Yeah.
All right. We will begin with the FAQ. I see one hand raised from one of our participants, Mr. Mahantesh Patel. Sir, I'm giving you the permission to unmute and ask your question.
Thank you, Drishti. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So, good evening, everybody, and a special mention about Vilas Shinde and Dr. Sadanand. So, I am from Ayodhya Crops Academy, Koppal, Karnataka. So, see, your Sampurna Grand Challenge is fine, but I have my own personal view about this. First of all, we are not equipped to identify the issues or challenges. Okay, the survey where exactly we miss, we make a list of big losses. Okay, it looks very cosmetic, but actually issues at the farmer level are totally different. It may not be technical, it may not be scientific, or it may be sometimes it looks very illogical. So if you can create that kind of questionnaire, what is his, see, many a times it is the social issues that come in front of the farmer to take the product to the next level. Okay, he may face that issue, is the biggest issue in India, because we are running a imperfect produce economy. Okay, but other side we are getting the cosmetic standards demand from the either importing or the premium the buyers. So how to build this nexus, no, how to connect it, is the first is clear cut issue. It may differ from farm and the farmer or the company. Okay, many a times we generalize the one common issue. Okay, it holds toward all India. No, it will not. Even in district we find it, each and every farmer with his or her produce or the farm, there are many challenges. The loss may be biotic or abiotic, but the issue is the connectivity. Why Vilas has win over that situation? That is a complete hand holding of the farmer from basic soil to shelf level. Okay, many a times we see these post harvest loss mechanisms, they go as a something like pilot project style and end up either university. I have been in university public system over 30 years. Now I have started my own consultancy. I do find this big gap. So what I wish is, you must have the very proper loss making mechanism. For example, I will give you one. You take the onion, you have mentioned even onion also many a times. It is one of the primary crops in your 6 or 7 crops listed. Okay, when you take 2 tons of onion. Okay, it is harvested from the farm, then it will come to the market. So what is that loss while transportation reaching? We talk on the logistic and other things. We recommend for refer vans, cold, all these things are there. But exactly the 2 tons lifted from Koppal to Bangalore, by the time it reaches Bangalore, what is that loss? What is that produce loss? Many a times, the products are rejected based on the face value that I put in the question and answer. Other than the quality is there, okay, but face value, they are curved, they are irregular, they are small, they are big. If you bring a solution for this one, then we can grade it properly, then we can get it. So this loss nobody checks, and I'm really surprised. I don't know, this is my personal understanding. From Delhi to Desi, whenever this infrastructure and everything comes, everybody talks on the Amul. Okay, Amul style, Amul model. No, Amul is totally different. It is a milk. It is every time it is consumed by many people. There is no time limit for it. But as for the products of like vegetables, fruits, or any non-perishable grains, it is not the case. They are stored, then they are sold. Okay, so Amul model, I doubt. Okay, I defer. Okay, in my view, that Amul model cannot be hold good for all the products in India. That is a milk. Okay, so this is my opinion, and thank you very much for this kind of discussions. And yesterday and day for yesterday also, I gone through Nitin's and Agai's conversations. Okay, and just now Dr. Achala also mentioned very clearly in Kannada. Okay, there is a social issue hand holding the farmer at his farm gate or our farm gate. Once we solve that one, all the things will be there. Otherwise, once the product is produced, even FEC also, because I am running an FEC, I am the chairman, I know how do the farmers behave with the chairman or directors of this one. So these are all there, along with the generalized principles of losses. So just I wanted to convey. Thank you for this
Thank you.
opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Patil. Thank you. We have taken a note of all the points that you have mentioned, and I mean, these are very coming from the grassroots and your experience. I mean, these are very valuable to us. Thank you. Over to you, Distri. Yeah, we
One
can
more
take other
question.
questions.
Yes, we have one more question in the chat. Mr. Nilesh Khade has asked it. Have you thought of drawing as post-harvest preservation technology for the challenge?
Yeah,
That is
Asim?
something that I've answered in the chat box also. Of course, any sort of technology, any sort of process, package of practice that could arrest post-harvest horticultural losses uh, can apply, are eligible to apply, and we welcome them to apply, which includes drying as well.
I think those were all the questions, and with that, we come to the end of the webinar. Thank you so much to all our participants, Dr. Sadanand, Mr. Vilas Shinde, and all our speakers for joining us today. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
before we wrap today's session, I will request the team to quickly share the screen for the QR code of the application form. This is a QR code to apply. You can scan using this code and directly go to the applications page and apply. The applications are open till the 15th of June, and there is a prize pool of up to 50 lakh for all our winners. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
And before we wrap up, I would like to plug in our next webinar, which is on the 26th of May, which is the coming Tuesday. And this webinar is with Mr. CM Patil. Really looking forward to your participation. You can register to the webinar using the link in the chat. Thank you so much.
Sorry for the interruption, Ajay ji. Shall I put in last one, my query?
Sir, we can connect separately, but we have already crossed the time.
Okay, fine, it's good.
Thank you so much for joining in, everyone.